is the other side. So we have to turn. Because normally we go that way, right? So as I get on to present, I have people starting to talk in the back. Maybe I should start singing. What song do you want to hear? Awesome. Du France? Non, je ne sais pas. Je ne veux pas travailler. Okay, here we go. I am kind of French, in an odd kind of way. I'm married to a French. My children are French. And you guys forgot to hyphenate my French name into my presentation. My husband will be horribly disappointed. Okay, so now I gotta click to the left. Oops, no. We're gonna skip through. Okay, we're having technical difficulties. All right, while they fix it, why don't I ask you guys some questions? Raise your hand if you're a millennial. Born between 1985 and 2005. Okay, very good. Right. So is it to the left or to the right?
One click is fine.
Okay. Yo ne veux pas travailler. So, okay. So raise your hand if you're French. Okay, it's about half the room. There's a lot of Frenchies. Not just Francophiles. Raise your hand if you're a single guy looking to date a girl. All right, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. I promised 2 friends this month I will set them up on a blind date. And come hell or high water, I'm going to make it happen. No, it's not a date for me. I'm married. I have 2 children. I swear. All right, so next. We all belong to a tribe. It's kind of funny. I feel like I have about 5 slides that overlaps with Jerome, though we never talked about this presentation, right? We all belong to a tribe. That tribe could be whether you're French, whether you're a millennial, whether you're a single guy looking to date a gal, we all belong to one, okay? And some of us belong to many. This is a photo from 1964. This is Beatlemania at its height. So the Beatles didn't invent teenagers, but basically they rose up and led them. So most movement or leadership is about finding a group that has a yearning for that connection. So how did I become an accidental servant leader? I started a group 13 years ago, so interestingly, by accident. So I came back to Thailand after living in the United States for about 2 decades. Yes, so that's why my English is a little bit funny. So in about 8-9 months after I arrived, Thailand went through the worst, and not just Thailand, but basically all of Asia, financial economic crisis. The value of the baht basically went from 25 to the dollar to 50 to the dollar. And basically the economy shut down, and there was this whole negativity around the subject of the foreigners did it, the foreigners did it. The IMF is gonna, do us in a bit more. So there was this mass exodus, if you will. Multinationals didn't know what to do. Most of their expat staff were being paid in euros or USD or other foreign currencies, so they started shipping them back. As a result, there was kind of like a chasm, I think, in the community. And I was yearning for connections. At the time, you don't have to do the math. I was 26 years old at the time. I was looking to connect with my peer group. And the chambers to me at the time felt so vast and large, and most of the men that were in the chamber at the time were probably a little bit closer to my dad's age than they were to my age. So I found myself a group, finally. And that group was called, sorry, am I too tall? Social Women in Bangkok, or called SWEET. The founder, she's English, her name is Annika Linden. And she ran the group. She was an entrepreneur herself. I don't know if any of you date back to those years of 1997, 1998. She owned a company called Hotel IQ, which is basically doing auditing at 5-star hotels, cost checking different things for them. And she ran this group for a good few years. Sadly, Annika died in the Bali bombing in 2002. we commemorated her in her memory. We did fundraising, and there's a center in Bali, if you guys ever get around to Kuta, called the Annika Linden Foundation, which helps disabled people and education. So basically helping the well-being of people in Bali. So we were all sad about having lost Annika, and then 1 year had passed. There was 10 of us in the group. So like what you were saying earlier, Jerome, about just finding those 10 group of people, and that's worth so it's like with or death, right? So what we had was a lot of death. There was 10 of us who experienced the loss of a friend. We wanted to continue it in her spirit, but we couldn't figure out how to do it. But somehow over dinner and maybe too many drinks, I got nominated. So this was before Meetup, and this was before Facebook. Those things didn't exist. And this is what a dial-up looked like. So this was the kind of technology for you French techie people. The kind of technology I was working with. But one thing I'm blessed with is that my brother is a programmer, and I myself used to code. So I understood how to build a website. I understood we could use open source. Open source existed. So we started taking down codes. We started writing our e-newsletters, basically everything HTML, doing it ourselves. Because I think MailChimp had just came online, but they were hella expensive, and this was just my hobby. So we talked about purpose. I wanted to think about starting a group. As much as I wanted to run a social group, I felt like there was needed to be a purpose somehow. And I wanted to find that purpose, and I was thinking, like, if I'm going to do this for the long term, I need to be motivated and passionate about that. So the purpose came to me in what I was needing, and I wanted it to resonate with me, and so that it would resonate with others. And that purpose, if you guys been to our website, is to link and inspire. So we link and inspire in multiple ways, and I'll share a little bit of that with you, maybe through pictures, and it's a bit more fun. So what's in a name? We were thinking, okay, so now we have a purpose to link and inspire. Now how are we going to name ourselves? Yeah, it's ugly, isn't it? I was not very creative at the time, even though I'm a marketer by training, experience, and everything else. It was this was stuff I was doing basically at night, because I had a corporate job at the time. So I came up with the name of WALK, Women in Gruntea. Because see, the group was to cater to its women. But my girlfriend, Laura Britz, God bless her, she saved me from calling it WALK. And we ended up with BNOW, Bangkok Network of Women. So this is what my first business card looked like when we launched the group. But a few years later, it looked like this. And it got rebranded to just become Bangkok Now. Why? Because even though it was called Bangkok Network of Women, I couldn't kick the men out. They kept coming. So, and if I kicked them out, I would be rude to their spouse because it was them who was bringing the men. So we just rebranded, and for the sake of the URL and the email address, we just kept it at Be Now. So that's what we've become. As of at the end of 2015 or 2016, we became a social enterprise recognized by TSEO, the Thailand Social Enterprise Office of Thailand. So, how did we do this? I see the format fell out a little bit. So for those of you, raise your hand if you're interested to start a group, or have started a group, or want to start a group. Such a labor of love, nobody wants to do it. All right, so here's some tips and tricks. Let me put this around you, Elodie. All right, so my training background, I'm a marketer, communicator at heart. So I came already with notions of how to build my communications plan. But just to share with you, and this of course got added along the way as it developed. You have your own media, which is going to be your stuff that you develop and own and that you can control, right? So those are your websites, your e-news, your blog, your social media channels. And of course, every now and then you can do a survey because you want to know what your group is thinking. Not everybody's going to come to your face and tell you face to face. And especially in Asia, it's so non-confrontational, right? People don't always want to tell you. So earned media. Now, how do you earn your media? You get that through interviews, speaking engagements. Anyone? So you earn your right to become a speaker at another event. Releases, press coverages. We talked about testimonial, word of mouth. That's like worth its weight in gold. Until I think some people, I'm sure there are some sketchy ones on TripAdvisor and Amazon every now and again. And then, of course, through social media, sharing, mentions, reposts, retweets. Okay. And then there's your bot media. Bot media is the deals that you make or barters that you have. For example, BeNow is a partner with La French Tech. La French Tech is one of the community partners for one of our projects, which is called the Entrepreneur Now. Okay. Sponsorships, advertising, advertorials, and of course online. Those are your PPC, display ads, retargeting, paid influencers, which our Gay Passport friends are doing very successfully over there. Other social media adverts and other content. So how have we come along? I see the numbers have dropped off, but I more or less know the numbers. We started with 10 people, and with the 10 people, we scrounged up 30 email addresses. And we were using a dial-up of 14 kbs to send it out to our 30 email addresses. In 2010, we grew to about 3,000. Today, 2016, our database stands at 17,000. So depth is greater than width. So I think you will grow. I'll give you a bit more insight as to how that grew because it was also part of my evolution as well. Okay, so I built the BeNow brand based on knowing how to build brands. This is the other company that I co-own with my friend and business partner over there. Woo! Right? This is Brand Now, my partner Tini Kitima. And as we were talking about earlier, brands also build communities. Now there are managers building the communities. And I want to show you, shameless plug over here, the communities, the brands in which we have the privilege and the honor to work with, who are building their brands. And by the way, they're also successful servant leaders as well. Grab, servant leader helping you get your taxi, Priceline helping you do price comparison, Lala for your logistics. So these are just some of the companies that we work with. Okay. So now to how I evolved over the years. Been running this group now for 13 years. So I was in my 20s, became a mom, and then this continued. And so did this. And I think over time, as I progressed from a career corporate woman, I also became an entrepreneur. Again, well, the first one was in 2003. The second one was in 2008. I want to show you some of the pictures. We started small. We did some social stuff, but we also focused a lot on things that would link us and that would inspire us. So there would be talks. People usually come to me and mention, like, hey, why don't you organize this? Today I kept getting that thing about organize something about, VCs and money, how to get money, financial backing for your startup. So we're thinking about that one. So people come to us all the time. These are just some of the events that we hosted. And our claim to fame, we are the first organization to ever host a speed dating. Really a funny story, I tell you. Because I thought, between the 10 of us, if we're lucky, there'd be 20 people showed up, right? This is our first actual event. We donated the proceeds, by the way, to Soy Dog Rescue, which is a charity which no longer exists. Guess how many people showed up? Guesses?
200.
Say again?
200.
100. I was completely freaked out. I didn't know where to sit them. It was just planned, at night, like, yeah, you're going to bring this guy, and you're like, okay, yeah. Just a group of us, just the 10 of us inviting some people. So 200 popped in. All right. Next. So, doesn't matter what we have done. I think our goal has always been to link and inspire. My personal motto is everything that I touch, anyone that I encounter, my goal is always somehow to improve or leave the person or the project or the thing that I've touched a little bit better than when I found it. Okay. So some insights for those of you who are interested to start a group. You want to go on Jerome's website and create your community. So managing a group, yes, it creates a lot of goodwill. Along the way, you'll collaborate and you'll partner with other groups like what we did also with charities. The culture of the group basically becomes your interaction or your personality and the dynamic of your audience. And usually what happens is it's just the law of attraction. Like attracts like attracts like. And you are one way, the same people will come to you. Nobody ever got rich from running a group or an association, not to the best of my knowledge. If you know them, please introduce them to me, because I've been running the group for 13 years. I haven't gotten rich from that. But maybe if we ran the Knicks or something like the basketball team. But it's a labor of love, or it's a labor of service. So I feel like I'm the servant leader. People come and tell me things. I try to figure out how to do it. If you don't like helping people, running a group will be a curse that just keeps on giving, seriously. Lucky for me, I like helping people. I like helping them solve their problems. Both you and the group will evolve, and this is inevitable. You change, the group will change. I've changed a lot. I became an entrepreneur. My focus has become very entrepreneurial-centered. It challenges you and takes you out of your comfort zone, and you'll be surprised where it may lead you. So I wonder sometimes if it's me leading Be Now or Be Now leading me. So because I feel, the community also inspires me and tells me what they need or want. Okay? So, and because we are servant leaders, if we could be of service, these are our contacts. So for Be Now is a social enterprise. We're a networking community, and we do projects like Entrepreneur Now Awards, and we also help charities as well from time to time doing fundraisers. In October we helped the Bangkok Breast Cancer to do a communication campaign. And right now that Asia I mentioned to you already, like the type of clients that we work with. Coming soon to a theater near you is RecycleNow.Asia, one of my passions and love. I want to figure out how we can reduce the waste, plastic in particularly, because it's just everywhere. I'm so proud of France. Seriously, I feel like it's my adopted home. That it's banned the use of plastics. So I hope that will be something the rest of the world will do. And Content Now is going to be the baby of Bread Now. So that's it for me. Any questions? Anyone? I stunned you. Yes. Well, you have the contact, so if you want to get in touch with Noé, please don't hesitate. So we would like to thank you again, all the speakers.